Hey, whiskey friends, far and wide, we are live. It is 2021, first happy hour of 2021. Eric, your humble malt muser. How's it going, everybody? Hope everybody had a nice New Year's, getting settled in. Let's get started. Let's kick this off, man. How's everybody doing? I'll catch up here with the early birds, and then we'll chat a little bit about what we got coming up. As you know, 3 hours whiskey chat. I got something special going on here on the happy hour, and then we will head on over to Telex, the Whiskey Tech. Rolling into 2021. Let's get after it. First in the door of 2021, Tamika, Chicago. Whiskey fam, where y'all at? I'm first in the chat, yeah. Getting my Jim Beam rye whiskey on tonight. Okay, there you go. Nice winter's pour right there. Nestor, it's been a while. How are you? Happy New Year. There's French. Cold in Duluth. Shocking. But warmed up with Widow Jane bourbon. Okay. Yeah, I've actually recently had some of that. Happy 2021 malt fans. Yeah, cheers, man. Ben, our buddy Ben Demon Hunter, holding it down in Calgary. What's going on? 15 more minutes of work. Well, that was, I don't know when you posted this. Oh, yeah, you're probably good now, man. Hopefully you are off work and can have yourself a pour and join us for whiskey chat time. Tamika, Mr. French saying hi to each other. What's up, Daniel? East Texas. What's up, buddy? Great to have you in the house as always. Good stuff. Give me just 1 second here. Let's tweaking this just a tad. All right. All right. What else is going on, everybody? Daniel says he's got Springbank 12 from 2019. Going to pour it along with malt for most of the evening. Right on. Planning on opening some McKenna 10 and Knob Creek 12 later in the show. Wow. All right. Getting after it tonight, man. We got to kick off 2021 in style, man. And looks like you're coming prepared, man. You're not bringing the knife to a gunfight. Good deal, man. Those are all solid pours. I wonder, so I think Springbank, the 12 caster, I think they do like 1 or 2 batches each year, if I'm not mistaken. I know they don't put the batch number on. The only way you can really tell is by the ABV. So I'd be curious what the ABV is on that one. I don't know if I've had it or not, but Tamika's saying happy 2021. Keep that hair growing, malt boy. You're looking good. LOL. Tamika, you're too kind. You're too kind. Thank you. Juan, coming in from the islands, beeping the signal. What's up, buddy? Happy 2020, man. 2021. See, I'm still saying 2020. That year is going to, got to wash that off, man. It's still sticking around a little bit. Pickled Hound. What's up, Jack? How are you, man? Thanks for swinging in. Happy New Year from Gary. Back at you, buddy. Good to see you. Peter White. What's up in Ontario? Hey, Eric. Hey, Peter. Good to see you. There's Greg from across the pond in Paris. Happy New Year to you, my friend. Great to see you hanging out. I know it's probably late for you, buddy, but glad you can hang out. Gary's not messing around tonight. 20-year-old Shag Indie bottling. Okay. There we go. Hey, Silverlock. What's up in Chicago? Chicagoland, right? Something like that. You're not quite in Chicago, but basically. Happy New Year to you too, man. Thanks for stopping in. We got a bunch going on tonight. All right. Cohen. What's going on in Southern California? Cheers from Philly. All right. Let me set the table. So, as some of y'all might have noticed, we're not having the ridiculous video blurring issues. Thanks to your guys' support, I, over the break, got myself a new webcam. So we shouldn't be having any issues anymore. I hope it's looking pretty good for you guys on your end. It seems to be working proper. I hope we don't have any issues with it, but Sorry for the kind of less than stellar quality the last couple times. There was something up with the new setting I got going here, so I don't know. But looks like we're in good shape and we're on the other side of that, so that's great. Let me tell you what's going on with Happy Hour tonight. So in a few minutes, I'm going to pour this sample provided by a friend of the show, Daniel. It is a Wolfburn Langskip, 58% first fill bourbon. It's a single malt scotch. I'm going to pour this. Check this out. Thank you, Daniel, for the sample. And then bottom of the hour, we're going to really kick off 2021 in style. I got something special that I'm going to open here. In this bag, we have a Lagavulin. This is the 2018 Lagavulin Jazz Festival release. It is an NAS 58.5% ABV. I think they did about 3,000 bottles, 6,000 bottles. Not an easy one to get your hands on, so I'm really stoked to check this out. And we'll talk a little bit about this, but excited to have a real heavy peat bomb, man. I mean, what else can we do to cleanse ourselves of the craziness of 2020, right? So we'll get into that in a little while. In the meantime, I'm going to get this Langskip in a glass. And I'll just use this one probably. Wash that out. Actually, you know what? I got clean glasses up here, I think. Grab one of these. Let's get this in. We'll let this sit for just a sec. Let me know if any of y'all in the chat have ever had anything from Wolfburn. This is a distillery I actually have not tasted much from before, so I'm really looking forward to checking this out. This will be cool. All right, what else is going on? All right, let's see here. Molasses, what's up? How are you? Happy New Year, buddy. Thanks for swinging through. Greg had a nice Zoom with family in Toronto. Yeah, cheers to all our Canadian friends. We got a few of them in the house tonight, as always. Good folks. Silverlock said, seems like the very wide angle camera, distortion on the edges. Yeah, I think it is a little bit on the wide side. I haven't been able to figure out how to focus it, but as long as we're not getting the like heavy blurriness, I think we're in good shape. So this thing should at least help us in that respect, I'm hoping. But let me know if it starts getting like weird blurry or something again, and I'll see what I can do. This is good now. Okay, good. Big scores, wacky prices. Alberta Premium, $220, $75. Nice, man. That's awesome. That is a seriously good score. Let me do something quick here. All right. What else we got going on? Yeah, man, it's Lagavulin time tonight, man. We're gonna pour some heavy peat. Why mess around, right? What else? Richie, what's up, Richie? Happy 2021, buddy. Thanks for swinging through, as always, man. Great to see you. There's our boy Andrew Page holding it down in Jersey. What's up, Andrew? What's your favorite compass box you ever tried? Oh, he's asking Greg. Okay. Yeah. You know, I haven't actually had a compass box in a while. They've been putting out so much new stuff. It's been a while since I've had, I don't even remember what the last compass box I had. That's a distillery I really got to get back into. It's one of those that I really like most of their stuff. I've never had any of the really high-end stuff. I think for compass box, you know, I've had like the Hedonism, which was pretty impressive. Spice Tree, which I really liked. Some of those like Great King Streets. I've had the Peat Monster. There's like one other one, and I can't quite remember. Lost Blend, maybe, which was really, really impressive. So there's been a few, but yeah, that's one of those distilleries, man, that like, or blenders, I should say, that I got to get back into. I've missed a bunch of their stuff. All right, man. Chat's blowing up. We got 14 folks in the house. Right on. Not yet on the Wolfburn, says Silverlock. Langskip is nice, but I didn't end up buying it for some reasons. Got 2 Wolfburns at home. And North 275, for instance, recommend. Okay, cool. Yeah. I don't know much about it. Daniel's in the house, and he'll probably have some some info on that because he has got a bunch of those. How old is the Wolfburn? Aurora is cheap. This is a NAS. I was looking a little bit online. I think it's like probably around 5 years. I'm not entirely sure though. So I'll let you guys know. I'm going to share a little bit on it in a second. Brooklotti, Weird 13 says for single cask. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, some progress. I know it looks like it like rounds a little bit, is what it is. We'll see where things go. I have a bottle of Wolfburn Morven. I haven't had that one. Yeah, they seem to be putting out a whole bunch of stuff. Aurora's 3 years, says Jack. Okay, cool. Good deal. Recently had a sample of the Langskip. Okay, yeah, you've had a bunch of them. Good deal. All right. Cool. So yeah, let's get into this. So basically what I was able to figure out about Wolfburn is they're like relatively new. They're like way high up in the like the northern part of the Highland region, like on the north coast of Scotland. So they're like, I think one of the most northernly distilleries on the mainland, maybe the most northernly. This one in particular, it is an NAS. I was looking a little bit online and it's probably right in that 58%, or I'm sorry, 5-year range. It's first fill bourbon. So I'm curious to see what this is all about. This is what the color looks like. I don't know if it's natural or not. Let me see if I got something that can, yeah. Looks pretty natural. That's a huge pour too. Oh, geez. All right, let's get into it. Yeah, that's nice. Really fresh citrus. There's like apple, butterscotch. There's actually a lot happening. There's like a saltiness to it for sure. And like lime. Yeah, this is interesting. There is a real like coastal, not maritime notes, but like more to the point, it's more like yeah, just like a salty brininess. But it's like lime and salt. Interesting. Man, it smells like a margarita almost. Funky. First fill bourbon too. You'd think that those first fill casks would really have a higher influence, but I'm actually not getting a ton of bourbon notes on this. Interesting. All right, well, let's give it a taste, man. Cheers. Happy 2021, y'all. Sweet. Definitely not sherry though. Wow. Sweet. Little bit of savory, a little bit of sour. I'm still not picking up a ton of vanilla. It's a little bit in the background, but I'll tell you what's really the star of the show. This is the citrus and the salt. Wow. It's got a really nice mouthfeel. For 58%, this is really drinkable neat. And it's a young whiskey. I mean, you can tell it's kind of young. The development doesn't go on for too long, but boy, as you go into the finish, it is salty, it is tangy, lime, lemon, pepper. Wow, this is interesting. There's a little bit of that kind of creamy vanilla thing going on, but not a lot. Definitely not a lot. Huh. Daniel, if you're still in the house, share if you have anything you want to share on this, let us know. So yeah, he did actually. It's natural color, non-chill. I'm glad I'm not the only one that gets lime. Man, there's serious lime on this. You know, like when you go to a, I don't know, whatever, some Mexican restaurant or like anywhere serving margaritas for that matter. And you get that kind of just like lime saltiness on the rim of the glass. That's what I'm picking up in here. And a lot of it. There's actually some tropical fruit too, man. Like pineapple, maybe. Apple. Wow, this is interesting. I wonder how they're getting that. I mean, I think that the whole like cliche thing about how coastal whiskeys get the salt from the air is, I think, kind of BS. I don't know. Maybe somebody disagrees with that, but I mean, it's made the saltiness mostly comes from like sodium in the barrels, which maybe comes from the air, but I doubt it. It wouldn't be substantial enough, I wouldn't think. But I mean, not to get the level that you're getting on this. This is one of the saltiest, zestiest scotches I've ever had. Really nice though, man. There's a really nice kind of core, like butter, not butterscotch. It's more like light toffee and vanilla. And then it's just wrapped around it is all this salt and citrus, maybe even pepper. There's a little bit of breadiness to it. Maybe even like that pickled ginger kind of thing. All right. Whew. Well, that second taste is even better. Yeah, let me know in the chat, man, if anybody's had this before. This is funky, and not in a bad way either. I'd be curious if what folks thought of this, if they're getting a lot of this lime saltiness thing. It's kind of drying, medium finish. It's not incredibly balanced. This citrus saltiness thing is really dominant, but not in a bad way. It's kind of nice. I'm not sure what a bottle of this costs. Daniel, maybe you can share with our friends in the chat if you have any idea on what a bottle of this costs, but I'll take a quick look and see if I can find out too. Really unique pour. Thank you for sharing this sample, buddy. We'd say this was called Langskip. Oh, wow, interesting. Yeah, so this is 75 to, yeah, this is like an $80 to $90 bottle. Okay. I wonder if this would come down a bit with age. Like the salty impact. The balance is, I mean, it's not there. This is really young. It's really bright. It's really youthful whiskey. I don't know if I would throw down 85, 90 bucks for it, but it's definitely interesting. And it kind of portends like what they might be able to do with the addition of age. And it's crazy drinkable for 58%. Like, I'm surprised. We'll put some water on it just to see what happens, but I'm actually, you know what? I'm going to move this into another glass because I don't think I'm going to drink this entire sample because I got to get into that Lagavulin. Let me just put a little bit of water on this, bring it down just a tad, see what else happens here. Wow. Pine. There's like maybe even a little bit of that kind of, it gets close to like juniper territory. It's like a gin. Yeah. Wow, this is interesting. Oh. Oh, okay. Put water on this one. Really tames down the aggression of that saltiness and that pepper note. Much more balanced now. Getting more of that creaminess, that vanilla, that, you know, caramel, maybe even like those Werther's candies, a little bit of that going on. Now I'm getting a little bit of a chocolate note, like a dark chocolate, bitter chocolate. Yo, okay. Shorter on the finish though. It's a short medium finish, and really just kind of leaves you with like an acidity, a little bit of floral, like rose water or whatever. I don't know, man. People always be trying to say there's rose water in whiskey. I'm not going to pretend I'm that sophisticated, but I definitely know that there's some floral action going on in here. All right. This ain't bad. This is interesting, man. This is the kind of whiskey that I'd love to pour for, you know, when you got your like whiskey friends over, y'all are swapping some samples, trying some new stuff. This is something you pour because like it's gonna throw them for a loop. I think you pour this for somebody who's like a noob or just getting into it. Like it's not gonna land necessarily well. If there was a vegetal note in this, if there was more of like a resinous vegetal note or a sharper vegetal note, I'd almost say this tasted like tequila. That saltiness is just crazy. Yeah, this is something. Wolfburn Langskip, 58% first fill bourbon. I think that's what's going on here. Somebody mentioned, who mentioned this? Somebody said like, let me go back. I think it's a really good point, and I've now kind of realized it with the addition of water. Let me just find this. I think it was Greg. Greg said something about, and maybe I'm wrong if it was Greg, but somebody said something about how it like is young but drinks like an older whiskey. I wouldn't have necessarily agreed with you on the agreed with that neat, but what I will say is with water, this is where that first fill bourbon is kind of masking over, I think, some of the youth of this whiskey, because with water it's much more pronounced. You're getting a lot more of the you're getting a lot more of that, like the creaminess, the barrel influence. So I think it was Greg. I'm way behind in the chat as always, so I apologize if I'm attributing that to somebody else, but nonetheless, it is true. All right. Langskip. Man, that's got so much better with water. It's incredible how that happens, isn't it, man? You guys probably know, like, some whiskeys, you just put a couple drops of water and it changes everything. I don't understand why there are some people who are like, you only drink it neat, you never dilute it, you should drink it straight out of the bottle the way it is. I feel like you miss out, and this is an example of it. This is really an example. You're getting some maltiness now too. Like this whiskey just completely changed. It is much more in balance than it was neat. Yeah. Always mess around with water. That's my philosophy. You can really get a lot more out of a malt or a bourbon or whatever when you mess around with a little water. Let me catch up in the chat because I'm way freaking behind. Let's see here. Where were we at? Folks saying hi to each other. Folks were talking about Compass Box. Oh, yeah. Okay. Wolfburn is Thurso. Old Pulteney is down the road in Wick. Our Scottish class. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, it's like way up there. That's right. Not sure, but I think Whiskey Pilgrim reviewed the Tony. Yeah, it is Whiskey Pilgrim's birthday, actually. I stopped by to say hi. He had a live stream going earlier today from Sweden. What else? Gingerbread. Yeah. Oh my God, you're right. I was getting some ginger, and I'm telling you, like with water, you get just a lot more of the cask influence. I felt like this whiskey was totally dominated by the saltiness and the citrus when drank neat. But man, with a little bit of water, it really comes into a bit better equilibrium. Like if I was gonna review this, man, the difference between water and not is like at least like a half point, at least. that first fill bourbon was the right move on this. I think if you would have done anything less, this would have just been disjointed as all hell, and it would have been way too spirity. Donner Pass, what's up? Good to see you. Happy New Year, man. Thanks for swinging in. It works to no whiskey for me until 2 a.m. Pacific. Oh, boy. We'll have a pour for you, man. No worries. Mom, your boy Quig didn't like this one. Oh, he didn't like this Wolfburn. I'm gonna have to talk to him about that. I'll be like, did you put water on this? Dram dude, what's up, buddy? How are you? What's up in Cali? Happy New Year, man. Thanks for swinging through. Good to see you as always. Gary, I think I missed some of your chat. I apologize. With age, this would be incredible. Yeah, seriously. Put a 10-year age statement on this. I think this is showing a lot of promise. It's very interesting stuff. Complex, much more complex than I thought it was. Neat, that's for sure. Right. What else is going on? Man, when you said gingerbread, that's all I taste now. The power of suggestions. Lemon meringue pie. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Don't forget, Wolfburn uses cleverly, some would say trickyly, some quarter cask in the mix that helps feel the spirit more mature. Oh, yeah, okay. That makes sense. Crafty. Definitely. That makes total sense. Yeah, I know. I got to get one. I feel like I got a steady hand, but sometimes, it'll mess things up. Is next on the list. I got the camera taken care of. I got this nice little Isla watercolor thing behind me now. We're making progress here. Cheers, Jack. All right, some folks talking about Klein Leash. All right, cool. All right, looks like we're caught up. All right. So yeah, thoughts on the Langskip. This reminds me of, when you start some of the early Kilhomans, where they were a little bit off. They weren't quite giving you what you wanted, but you could tell that it would with age. Or even some of the, maybe not the early Port Charlottes. I feel like those were always kind of on point. But like some of the Kilhomans, you could just tell, like, oh yeah, in a couple of years this is going to be great. I think we've seen that for the most part with like the Loch Gorm, for example. I think that one's just got better and better over the years. Same with the Saneg. This one, yeah, I think a couple more years of age, spending time, maybe not in first fill. Maybe it's like, you go to a 10-year, 12 years with something like this and, do like second fill casks or something. Refill would probably not be good. Refill, AKA third fill. I think the spirit is just so intense and lively. That would probably be a little bit weird. But yeah, you can just tell like Wolfburn's gonna be something to look out for, y'all. And I'm actually now real interested in trying some of their other stuff. So this is great. All right. Bottom of the hour. So let me just bring everybody up to speed on what's going on. So yeah, we just tasted this sample of the Wolfburn. Thank you again, Daniel, for sending this out to me. This was delicious and interesting. And you got Wolfburn on my radar now. In the spirit of punching 2020 in the teeth and kicking off this year in style, we are about to crack open a very special Lagavulin. This is Lagavulin 2018's Isla Jazz Festival release. So I'm going to get this in the glass and tell you a bit about it. And then, of course, as always, right at 9 o'clock, Telex and Malt Show Tasty Tuesday will commence. First show of the year. We are going to be tasting Macallan's. So in hour number 1, we're going to be tasting the Macallan 12 Sherry Oak. And is that what it's called? Sherry Oak? They keep changing it. Sherry Oak cask, yeah. So we're going to do the Macallan 12. And then in hour 2, we're going to check out the heavily overpriced, but nonetheless coveted by some, Macallan 18 years old, 2019 Sherry. So we're going to have a bunch of good whiskey to taste. I will drop the link in the chat as always when Telex is ready to fire up the show, and hopefully y'all can join us tonight. But great seeing everybody so far. I hope everybody's having a good New Year. I mean, I'm feeling maybe Pollyannish about it, but I'm going to be a little bit optimistic that hopefully this year is going to be better than last year. Fingers crossed, everybody. But COVID may still be here, but so are we, right? Oh, nice pop. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. I'm going to get some of this in the glass and let it chill out for a second, and then let me tell you a little bit about this. So, Lagavulin, you all know, heavily peated. This in particular, so they, on Isla, there's a couple different festivals that happen every year. There's the Isla Festival, which is like all the distilleries kind of put out special releases. Then there's this like jazz music festival, which Lagavulin has been sponsoring since like 2010, 2011. And so each year they put out a limited batch, usually like I think 6,000 bottles, maybe sometimes a little bit more, sometimes less. They do a Jazz Fest release, and so the most recent one is like a 21-year-old, which I could not afford to get. However, I do have this one from 2018. I also actually have a 2017 Jazz Fest as well, which comes in a little satchel type situation. So let me give you guys the rundown on this. There is no age statement, so we don't quite know what we're looking at. Again, 58.5%. For those who care about it, it is bottle 2,889. This is a blend of first fill. It's first fill American oak barrel. So that's like first fill bourbon. Refill American oak hogsheads. So that's like third fill. And European oak puncheons. I'm going to assume maybe the European oak. I don't know if it's probably not sherry, but it could be. Yep, these are bottled exclusively for the Isla Jazz Festival. And this one, the 2008, came in this kind of green little bag, and I'm assuming this is just so you can walk around the Jazz Fest with your giant bottle of whiskey, doing your thing. Yeah, I'm assuming European oak puncheons might be ex-sherry, but I could be wrong about that. We'll see if we pick up any sherry on this. Let's see if there's any other info on here. Not really. And yeah, let me know in the chat if any of y'all have ever had a Jazz Fest release from Lagavulin. I mean, they also do a Festio release, which is, probably even better than this, but this is pretty cool. Isla Jazz Fest 2018. Okay, yeah, not much more info on this little bag that they gave you. More look at the bottle. So this is what the bottle looks like. You can see it's got the little jazz notes on the side of it. Typical looking Lagavulin labeling, all that stuff. Pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. Pretty freaking cool. All right. We'll let that sit for a sec. Let me catch up on the chat, and then we'll give this bad boy a try. Again, if you haven't yet, take a sec. Give the old thumbs up on the video. That will, you'd be surprised how much benefit that actually does to the channel and all that kind of stuff. So appreciate that. Let's see what's going on. Greg and Andrew talking about some stuff. Andrew said, are you doing Ardbeg Black tonight with Telex? If so, I need to find my last half ounce of the small sample. No, we're doing Macallan's. We'll be doing Ardbeg Black in 2 weeks. We're going to do a head-to-head committee release versus the limited release of the Ardbeg Black. Actually, I can tell you what day that'll be. That will be on the 26th of January. So, yeah, end of the month, a couple more weeks. It's going to be dope. I'm really excited to do that. Right. Can't go wrong most often with Lagavulin. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, the NAS thing throws me off a little bit. There's not that many NAS releases from Lagavulin, as far as I know. I mean, if you look at the core range, right? The 8, the 16, And then they have that 10, which is like the travel exclusive. The Offerman was an 11. Do they even have like an NAS release? I think their Fessio releases are all probably have age statements, or maybe some of those are NAS. But these Jazz, the 2017 Jazz Fest is also an NAS. A little bit different in its maturation, but you know, I can't imagine it's going to be garbage. At least I hope not. We're going to find out. Off to dinner. Take care, Gary. Again, man, thanks for swinging through. Always good to see you. Peated barrels in the Northland. Oh, for the Morven. That's that other Wolfburn you were talking about? Okay. Bon appetit, as we say in France. All right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really a Macallan. I don't know, what do you call him? A homer, a fanboy. I don't really care that much about their stuff for the most part. I have bought the edition stuff. We'll talk about that on Telex's show, but I did get the edition 6, which is quite good, actually. I've never bought a Macallan. I think, yeah, I've bought the 12 Sherrywood, which I think is still pretty good. I've bought some Macallan, again, the edition series. I have a classic cut. I have a 2017 classic cut, which is like the new cast strength or close to cast strength version. But that's it. Like, they're just too damn pricey, so I don't even bother with it. It's just not interesting. I don't know. I mean, I love them. I love the nose of a Macallan. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the nose on Macallans are fantastic. But yeah, it's just not really, like, the prices are outrageous. Like, they're clearly marketed, you know, obviously they have so many different special releases and all of this stuff that, like, you can't keep up with if they're expensive as all hell. I mean, this 18 that we're going to drink, this is like a $250 bottle for an 18-year-old, man. Like, I don't think there's any distillery with an 18-year-old that's as expensive as the Macallan. I mean, Highland Park's like $140 in the US. I mean, Glendronach is getting up there with the Allardyce, is like in that 180, 190 range, but I don't think there's anything up there going over $200 for an 18-year-old whiskey. Springbank doesn't even go that high. So yeah, I don't know. They do it because they can, I guess. Good marketing. There are a lot of SM and BM undisclosed ones in the indie bottling territory, for instance. Megan Castro, they're Lagavulin. Oh, cool. That's good to know. Yeah, that's really good to know. The only Macallan 12 I had is the old copper colored box, not the black one. Macallan 12 is better than a lot of entry levels. I agree with you. I just did a comparison video a couple of weeks ago between this and the Glendronach 12, the Macallan 12 Sherry and the Glendronach. I think they're like very close. So I really couldn't pick a score for, like, they were both like 3 5s for me. But if you asked me if I had to pick one, I'd actually take the Macallan. I wasn't even happy to say it, but it's true. Even though the Glendronach is more of a craft presentation and all that, I really just think the Macallan brings more to the table. But they have another 12-year-old. It's called like the, oh God, man, I don't know. They change this around. So like 2 oak or double oak or twin oak or twin cask. I don't know. Where I think it's like bourbon and sherry. That one, it's like in a blue box. No, I wouldn't mess with it. That's not, that one leaves a lot to be desired. But the regular sherry oak, which we're going to talk about with Telex, solid bottle. It's just, I won't buy it again because it's like freaking $75 for a 12-year-old whiskey. And then, like, there's better, you know, you can almost get a Glendronach 15 for the price of a 12-year-old Macallan sherry at this point. It's crazy. That's what it's called, the double cask. Yeah, that's what it's called. That's the one where it's like the ex-bourbon, ex-sherry. Yeah, man. Or at least they just used American oak. I don't quite remember like what the breakdown was. Yeah, it was not. I actually had that over the holidays too and was like, this is not the 12-year-old you buy. It was just me having a lot of Max years ago. Yeah, I mean, I've heard that too. Like the you know, older Macallans, especially, you know, that cast strength, which is now called the classic cut, is apparently just like light years better than any of the classic cuts that you see nowadays. Andrew says Jazz Fest on that sounds amazing. Yeah, man. God. That's a good point, man. Let me know in the chat, y'all. Like, once this COVID stuff is chill or whatever, you get the vaccine, when the world goes back to normal, what's the first thing you're going to do? Or what have you missed the most? And I think Andrew Page just hit the nail on the head for me, man. It's going to see some live music, man. I just want to go. I want to go down to Center City, Philadelphia, and sit in a jazz bar and like drink a couple glasses of whiskey with some good company, listen to some live music, or go to a concert. Like, man, it's amazing how much you miss this stuff when it's taken away from you. It's crazy. I would love to do that. But yeah, let me know in the chat, y'all. Like, what are you hoping to do this year when, fingers crossed, all this stuff is, cleared out here, at least in the States. We'll see how long it takes, but yeah, no, I can't imagine it is. Dude, the price on that shit is outrageous. That's why I never bought it. Oh, James Bond drinks it. Well, yeah, there you go. I thought he drank Talisker. He also drinks his martinis wrong. First of all, yeah, man, let's riff on James Bond for a second. That dude doesn't know how to order a drink. That guy's probably been so responsible for people having crappy drinks for what, 4 or 5 decades now? Number one, there is no such thing as a vodka martini. That is garbage. A martini is gin and gin only. Secondly, never order it shaken. It just breaks up the ice and waters down your drink. Stirred gin. That's how you order a martini, man. He's on some garbage with that. I remember when I got into cocktails and I was really into gin and I was messing around with like making different martinis. And I went and saw one of those like newer movies of theirs. This was probably like 5 or 6 years ago, called like Spectre. It was like on my birthday, so I went to like a matinee, and he was, of course, like drops that line of his about like shaken, not stirred. You're like, what do you want to drink? Why do you want to drink a watered down martini? That, man. Screw you, James Bond. We're calling you out here on Tasty Tuesday Happy Hour. You don't know nothing. I'll tell you what does know something, though. Lagavulin. Who's the guy that likes Lagavulin that was always plugging it? The guy from Parks and Rec, Ron Swanson. Well, his Offerman edition, the 11-year-old, was okay, but this, on the other hand, yeah, Richie, you're right. I'd love to try one from like 20 years ago. But I've actually never had any Macallan 18, so I'm going to try for the first time tonight in about hour and 15 minutes. All right, what else is going on? Last concert I saw was ZZ Top and George Thorogood. Whoa, what was that, last year? Right on, man. Oh no, James Bond, what a loser. Somebody's just got to tell that fool how to order a drink, man. I mean, it sounds good in the movies, right? But now you've all been there, man. And I don't know if you guys are sticklers about this stuff or not, but you've sat in a bar before where like, somebody's ordering a drink. And they're like, everybody orders a martini shaken. It's like, no, it just breaks the ice up and you just have a more watered down drink. You stir it, it stays colder. You're not melting the ice as much because you're not causing as much, situation with the spirit. I don't know, man. Good to know. All right. Well, he's a little bit redeemed then. Rest in peace, Sir Sean Connery, for that matter. I would love to. One of these days, if I do it too, I'm going to definitely like do some live streams from there, man. That's the other thing I miss, traveling. God, get out of this country for a while. Skyfall had the Mac 12 and the Mac 50 when they shot. Okay, so he's drinking Macallan's too. Good product placement, maybe. 1990 Macallan. From 1962 in Skyfall. Oh, okay. I must have missed it. I thought he was I thought it was Talisker. Maybe, I don't know. I guess I'm way off on that, man. I'm way off. But yeah, man. Long story short, I mean, I'm not a bartender, but that whole shaken not stirred thing is freaking garbage, man. You always order your martini stirred, and there ain't no such thing as a vodka martini. That's all I got to say about James Bond's Shots fired. Gotcha. Richie's on the black. Good deal. Hey, what's up? Malted Montreal's in. Uh-oh. Large margins. Have they counted Fulton, Atlantic County yet? I was watching a little bit of this, but I missed. I haven't looked at it of late because we've been talking. Swami, you're a bartender. Martini. There ain't no such thing as a real martini is only gin. And would you agree with that? And would you agree that if you're going to order a martini, you should always get it stirred, not shaken? We'll see what Swami's got to say about that. Great to have you in the house, bud. Happy New Year. Candidates are in large margin. Folks saying hi to Swami. Best Talisker replacement in a movie was Charlie Wilson's War. Oh, yeah. That's right. That's funny. All right. Lost Cause. What's up in the bayou, buddy? Happy New Year. Thanks for stopping in. All right. We got 15 minutes left, so I gotta get into this. So just for folks joining in the spirit of kicking the 2020 in the face and ushering in the new year, we're going heavy peat bomb. I have just uncorked and poured a glass of Lagavulin Jazz Festival limited release bottling in 2018. This is a first fill American oak, refill American hogsheads, aka third fill, and European oak puncheons. This is what it's looking like in the glass. It doesn't say anything about non-chill fill or natural, but it's 58.5%. That's what we're looking at. They ain't put no color in that. I wish they'd tell you it, but they did. Rod's in the house too. What's up, Rod? All right, on the nose. Oh, yeah. I mean, this is a Lagavulin for sure. What you're getting here, man, complex. For an NAS, too. You're getting the deep, earthy peat that you get off Lagavulin. The smoke is heavy. There's some really nice bourbon notes. There's so much going on in this, man. Geez. Vanilla, toffee, caramel, all of that's there. You're getting some maritime notes too. There's some herbal, like grassy, almost like fresh. It's a fresh whiskey. Oh man. So those European oak puncheons, I'm wondering if those are ex-sherry because I am getting a little bit of like fruit in this. And what it is melon, pear, apple, and then where I think the sherry might come in, just a hint of like red fruits. Oh, wow. This is incredible on the nose. At 58.5%, I can almost put my nose entirely in it. That's how like incredibly well made this is. It's not even like blowing out my my ability to smell. Oh, God, vanilla, chocolate, that almond, like nuttiness, fresh almonds. God damn. All right. Sláinte, y'all. Happy 2021. Oh, man. Delicious. Arrives sweet and oily, full mouthfeel. Oh. The fruit and the bourbon notes are playing off each other really well. The peat is intense. If this is clearly probably a younger whiskey, but you can really not tell. And again, much like the Wolfburn Langskip that we were drinking earlier, the first fill bourbon on the young whiskey is masking a bit of the youth. You get a really nice rush of cola, caramel, malted milk ball, vanilla, and then it kicks into another notch as it develops. I mean, you really can tell where it goes in stages. You get this nice surge of fruit notes, and then it's just heavy peat. It's acidic, it's drying, it's spicy. It goes into a medium long finish, And even in the finish, you get another surge of this kind of like creamy vanilla toffee. No, not toffee. It's sweeter than that. It's vanilla, a little bit of that red fruit. Oh, this is fantastic. Custard, tapioca pudding, little bit of like cinnamon. Fuck. Man, this is one of the best non-age statement whiskeys I've ever had. And I can tell you that just off one sip. This is incredible. I can tell you right now, I think this is better than the 12-year-old from 2019. And I think it's better maybe than the 12-year-old from 2018. Oh, nice ashy smokiness at the end. My God, this is delicious. It's it's not, the complexity is not extreme. I think it's moderate in its complexity. I mean, obviously this is a neck pour, so we'll see what happens with it. Not the most complex whiskey, but it is what it does. It's doing incredibly well. I think maybe the 12s are a little bit more complex and probably a little better priced. These are not cheap and hard to get. I'll be honest with you. I bought it just for a little bit of a treat. And like I mentioned, I also have a 2017 version, which we'll check out one of these days. This is so good. I mean, this is just an incredibly bourbon-forward, heavily peated Scotch. It is drinkable as hell at 58.5%. Man. There's even like this is going to sound hilarious. You know that like the cake they use on Twinkies, like that really sweet kind of like, what is that called? Like almost like angel food cake. You're getting some of that in here too. Very bourbon forward. This is probably, if I was going to compare it to a Lagavulin that folks have probably all tasted. I mean, this is more like the Offerman edition, where the bourbon notes are just kind of dominant. It doesn't quite have the complexity of like that deep kind of maritime seaweed, seashore kind of notes that brininess that you get off like the Lagavulin 16. This is much more like a bourbon forward. I think those first fill bourbon casks are really kind of the star of the show here, but it's playing really well. Now, that said, for the price, I mean, this, like I said, there's only like 3,000 or 6,000 bottles of this made. To get this shipped from overseas, this is probably like a $300 bottle nowadays. I don't know. It's not worth it. But for what it is, it's really good. And I'm going to be really excited to explore this. I do hope it opens up a bit more and gets a little more complex. In fact, I'm going to put just a dab or two of water in this and see if we get anything else. Man. Vanilla. Smoke, peat, citrus. Spice. You're getting a little bit more of the fruit spice or the fruit sweetness in this now with water, but water hasn't changed this one too much, unlike that Wolfburn first fill that we had earlier. I wonder how old this actually is. I mean, it blows that 8-year out of the water. That's for sure. I don't know. Maybe this is just 8-year with first fill bourbon casks. I don't know. Very, very well could be. And then they threw it in, a sherry puncheon for a while. Nice. All right. One more taste here. So good. A lot of bourbon. If I was going to compare this to a lot, there's a Lafroig, the Lafroig 16, that first fill bourbon that came out, or the first fill bourbon cask, Lafroig that came out last year. This is kind of in that realm. The bourbon notes are really heavy on this. And I think that takes away maybe from some of the complexity or is masking some of the youth, or both. But this is no slouch. I think this is much better than the Lafroig 16. Oh, nice like mocha white chocolate thing going on now. Yeah, all right. I'll mess with this. This is good. All right, y'all. We are approaching Telex, the Whiskey Tech territory here. Let me just check in with him real quick, see if he has got a link ready. As I mentioned, Telex and I are going to be doing some Macallan tastings tonight. We're going to be, here is the link. I'll drop it in the chat. We'll be joining over there in a few minutes. Yeah, molasses, exactly. Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm going to, thankfully, I'm really familiar with the Macallan 12-year-old. So I'll reset the palate with the 12, and then in the second hour, we're going to do the 18. So hopefully I'll be reset from that. But yeah, golden cake. There you go. Exactly, Peter White. Ton of that going on in here. And this is so drinkable. Mm. Fuck. Probably not worth the price. Not the most complex one so far. I'll do a full review of this later this year. This is going to take a while. But goddamn. Can't mess with Lagavulin, man. You just can't. Is there a bad Lagavulin? Maybe. I've heard that 10-year-old travel exclusive isn't not good, but yeah, I've heard that too. The 2017 was special. So was the 2015, I've heard. And I'm sure there's some even older ones. Yeah, it was okay. I think I gave it like a 3.25 when I reviewed it. It didn't really do it for me. It was competent, but it's not worth the price. So the problem with that one is like, and I don't know if it's limited or if it's, yeah, I mean, I think that it's limited in the sense they probably did like 60,000 bottles of it or something like that. But it's like the price. When I got it, the price was like 60 or $70. Now that thing is like over 100, and like, come on, man, you can get the Macallan 16 for that. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to buy the Offerman edition. Yeah, that was So like the last 2 years of the Jazz Festival releases have been age statement ones, and they're crazy expensive. So I haven't been able to get those. Oh my God, he says. Yeah, watch this. I'm gonna be like, dude, Macallan 12 is like a 1.5. This is hot garbage. I only poured a little bit of it, so God damn, I could drink this all night. Fucking delicious. Let's see what else is going on here. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. Oh, interesting. Oh, right. So the 9-year-old Lagavulin. So they even had an age statement on their Game of Thrones. I actually liked that. I liked it more than the 8. And I found it when I was out in California. Actually, I think I might have done a live stream about this. I found that they were selling it for $25 at this liquor store out there. And man, if that was local, I would have bought like 10 bottles of it. I think it's actually quite good. I don't know. I didn't have enough of it to like score it, but really solid stuff. No, I have not tried any Port Ellen. Yeah. That's real talk, buddy. That's real talk. All right, you guys. Let me drop this link in the chat one more time. This has been a lot of fun, man. Happy 2021 to everybody. Do join us. Link is in the chat. Telex and I are going to be doing the Tasty Tuesday. Telex and Malt Show. Macallan 12, Macallan 18. We're going to kick off the year with one of the more divisive distilleries amongst whiskey heads. The 18 we're going to drink is from 2019, and the 12 we have is from 2020, if anybody cares. So I'll see you guys over there in a few minutes. Appreciate, again, all the support. Do hit thumbs up if you haven't yet. It means a lot. Yeah, I'll see you guys over on the Telex channel. And if I don't catch you over there, I'm dropping a review Friday, first review of the year. Glenmorangie Taylor Cake, full review coming out Friday. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe, and you will make sure to get a notification on that. I'll catch you all later, man. Be safe, be well. Peace. Wear a mask. Take care.